Gerard and Rhino in the studio. Joining us now, also in the studio, Mr. Steve Jent. He is the executive director of the Sanderson Farms Championship. I'm much relaxed and relieved, Steve Jent, today.
Yeah, I was just telling you how comfortable the couch was outside. I think I may have just dozed off for a second waiting. I think the staff we got a decent night's sleep last night, so we did not have to be there at 5:30 in the morning today. So
much deserved.
It was all good. Thank you. Yeah. Well, last week everybody's saying, "You get any sleep?" I'm like, "Nope." But that's what next week's for. So it's good. It's all good.
Well, but if I know you and what it takes to put on a PGA tournament, I haven't been involved in that back in the days when it was in Annandale. You're about to start it all over again.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. You kind of start thinking about next year even before this one arrives.
Sure.
Once the train's going downhill and you start the build out and everything, you're starting to look at, hey, let's tweak that for next year. Let's do this, because it's just too late for this year.
Yeah.
So we've got to, go out throughout the week. We've got a list of things we want to change and tweak, and you're always trying to make it better. You're always trying to do new things so that every year somebody comes out and goes, hey, that's kind of cool. That's different.
Yeah.
We had those SuperPro shuttle buses this year. I think were a big hit.
Yep.
There's just I think there's a lot that we'll keep. There's some things we'll tweak, and you always want to make it better.
No question about it. And I got to tell you, it seems to me like it's gotten better every year. And this, I'd have to say, was the best year ever. I tell you this, the course looked as good as I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it was really good. And we heard that from the players and the officials and everybody in the caddies all week long, in that it was they keep telling us best Bermuda greens, maybe best greens on the entire PGA Tour. The fairway, Stanley Reed and his crew has done a lot of work with the fairways, verticutting and everything. Irrigation system that helps the rough but keeps the fairways dry.
Yeah.
And we were blessed with great weather. The weather just kept pushing away, and
yes.
Every day you'd look at the forecast and go, God, tomorrow doesn't look great, and then tomorrow would come and it was great.
Yeah.
So like you said, great crowds. Yesterday was probably the largest crowd I've ever seen on a Sunday in 8 years, and we have even Thursday. When typically Thursday, Friday are little kids are in school, and it tends to be more of a corporate days out there. I mean, man, we had great crowds both of those days.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
of course, we were out there Friday with a show, and I was just incredibly impressed, as I always am, and having been a member out there for a long time and played the course. What really impressed me is watching the final round I did from television yesterday. Mm-hmm. How great the place looks on TV. Yeah. And it's such a good thing to showcase that to the national golf audience. Yeah. It's big time.
Yeah, my phone was blowing up yesterday from friends all around the country going, man, it looks really good out there.
It was.
And we did some things. We were able to do some things last year because we didn't have all the hospitality structures, and we had to replace the branding that goes on all that mesh with some different signage that we were able to kind of repurpose this year. So the branding was great. And I think that's what everybody kind of tends to forget. I mean, this event is 330 million potential households around the world.
Yeah.
Like 192 countries.
Yeah.
It's a great way to showcase how,
I agree.
First, many times we get, kind of blighted in the news,
Yeah.
This is a great way to showcase how great it is here.
No question.
Yeah.
And I love the way it was set up around 18. I always do a good job. Seemed like, I don't know, a little improvement this year. I couldn't put my finger on it, Steve, but just the shots from the fairways, the players were hitting their approach shot up to 18. Just looked fantastic. I tell you, the other one I liked, 14.
14.
That shot on 14, looking down the fairway at the green there, was fantastic.
That's and 14's been a pivotal hole the last few years. I mean, it's a gettable, but very hard par 5. I mean, obviously that shot helped Sergio win last year, and he basically eagled that, and Sam birding and everything. I mean, it's a hole where you can kind of start that last run, and he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this: it's a lot tighter than it looks on TV. That's a pretty tight hole down in there.
Yeah, those fairways they're brought in. I think Stanley's going to start mowing a little bit more for the members, but that's a really good hole. It's obviously left is out. And, what I kept hearing from the players and caddies all week long was how good the rough was. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this rough,
good rough."
But it was consistent. Everybody thinks, "Hey, you want deep rough," and you really don't. When Bermuda gets above 2.5 inches, the canopy starts to grow and the ball sits on top.
Yeah.
At 2.5 inches or so, the ball drops.
Yeah.
And that's what the players were seeing. They're like, yeah, the ball's dropping, and it's some squirrely shots.
It's a premium to be in the fairway.
Absolutely.
As
it should be. I mean, what was it somebody said back in the day? We're not trying to embarrass the world's best golfers. We're just trying to find out who they are. So it was a really good week.
All right, well, what about our champion?
Oh, man, it's just, follow Sam's history on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
We gave him an exemption a few years ago. We were his first professional event. We were his first top 5, I think, on the PGA Tour. And just he's such a great kid.
Yeah.
And, it's about as local as we can get.
LSU.
Right? LSU, 3 hours away in Shreveport. He considers this a home game for him. He had a lot of friends and family out there yesterday. It was a great leaderboard. And Sam's going to be a presence on the PGA Tour for a long time. So
22 under.
Yeah.
How good is that?
Yeah, it's really good. But these guys are good. I mean, at one point, he got to 23 under. He bogeyed 18.
Right.
But they're just good.
Yeah,
I mean, and we don't really worry about reference to par. I mean, they're just really. And we didn't. Like you and I talked a lot. There was no wind really this week to speak of. So other than the greens in the rough, there wasn't a lot of defense. But he's a great kid. He said, "Man, you don't have to worry about me ever not being here." He said, "I'll always be here till I'm 60."
He's from Monroe, right? I think he's from Monroe, a couple hours away.
Well, he's from. Is it Chaudron? It's in that area over there between Shreveport,
sort of central.
And I think he lives more Reston in that area. But and Joe on the green had a lot to say about where Sam was from. It's just tied into Joe's family. So we couldn't have written a better script.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And, of course, had Mr. Sanderson on the show on Friday. Always a pleasure to talk to him. And you could just tell he's so proud of the association with the event and the way in which it has grown. And having your own date, I mean, how big is that, Steve?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, because not that all the world's best golfers can come every year. I mean, there's 48 events on the PGA Tour. Yeah. The top players are going to play 20, 21, 22. So they're going to, they're not going to play half of the available events.
Yeah.
But to have a date where they can come here, if it fits, a lot of times it's about golf course and it's about schedule.
Yeah.
But to have the ability to get them here, and the ones that have been here the last few years, whether it's Sergio or Gary Woodland or Sam, I mean, the word's getting out that this is a really good stop in the fall.
Yeah.
So, it's really
and I got to tell you that the interacted some with the staff at the facilities. They work hard.
Yeah. They work hard and long.
And long.
Long. I mean,
fantastic job.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, we have a couple parties every night, and a lot of people are kind of disappointed we have to shut them down, but we got to shut them down because that same staff has to be there at like 4 o'clock in the morning to start cooking food for the next day.
Crazy.
So it's like, guys, I know you all want to stay here and party longer, but these people have to go home so they can come back.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we are grateful to them.
Well, it's
because they in so many behind the scenes, and again, I haven't been involved in it when we used to do it out of Annandale. They come in, 6 weeks before the tournament to start setting up everything?
Yeah,
right?
6 weeks to 2 months. I think it kind of depends on what we start taking a look at. It's a traveling circus. We start that build in stages, and now you see me in shorts and tennis shoes because we're out now. Now we're tearing it down, and our vendors are tearing it down, and we're trying to get the staff a little bit of time off, but get our offices back set up, and It is a traveling circus, and the tents are coming to town, and the tents are leaving town, and we'll be back.
It's amazing
next year.
What's amazing to me is observing it, is knowing that's going on every single week of the year.
I mean, if there's 48, 49, there's only about 3 weeks that the tour isn't playing somewhere. A lot of things leapfrog each other. Those staffs on the tours, whether it's ShotLink or rules officials or somebody, there's somebody on the move all the time. It's
incredible.
The logistics behind it are just mind blowing.
They are, but everybody does a fantastic job. And what's best about it is all that's happening behind the scenes, and so the experience of the fans and the patrons, whether they're on TV or they're present. It's just such a pleasurable experience, and so hats off, including the members who give up their course. You got to consider them too.
Absolutely, and for what really makes, I think, the tournament special is that we don't play the week before advanced week, and so the club gives us that week, and that's made a huge difference for Stanley and his crew.
Yes.
being able to, instead of playing right up to the event, to be able to have that week of preparation, and that shows in the golf course of what the players are seeing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, 1,000 volunteers, all our sponsors.
Unbelievable.
It's certainly a team effort. It's paying off.
Congratulations. Fantastic tournament. Again, looking forward to next year. Big, successful asset for the state of Mississippi. Thanks for your work, too, Steve. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back with Midday. Stay with us.